Welcome to Flow of Miracles month's energy reading for July. So, June might have not been your favorite month because we're moving from the energy of the Ace of Swords reversed, which could have allowed you to be tripped up a lot in inner fears and blockages. But we are moving to a much better July because the energy of the major arcana of the High Priestess will guide us to better things. I don't know anybody who's spiritual inclined who doesn't love seeing the High Priestess. She is the powerhouse of intuition, the big answer to a lot of questions. I often tell people that it's so easy to make decisions based on fear, based on rationale, and not actually understanding what our soul path is, what is right for us, and what might look strange to others, but is actually steps in the right direction. So, the do's this month is do take time for your intuition. Do take time to connect to your own inner world, what's happening for you emotionally, mentally, what you might like to do on a broader spiritual perspective, and take some time to learn. I think the High Priestess is a great teacher, but we do need to make some time for her in our lives. Often we are very active, and even spiritual people don't take the time to do necessarily the meditations, visualizations, manifestations, or other spiritual work like dream work, um, ancestral work, or any of the other things that you might like to do. But we do have this energy this month, so I highly recommend, especially in summer, to do some walking meditations, to go out and just listen to yourself while you're in nature and allow this High Priestess energy to nurture you and allow you to see you as the soul, as the spirit that you are. And when you do that and when you engage in your inner world, you get a lot of clear ideas of who you want to be. You will get out of this to do list and instead understand your space in the universe and where your places are and where your people are. So take this time to learn, whether it's with a teacher, whether it's just with you and higher power, or with a book, and you will notice that your life will have leaps and bounds of improvement. Of course, High Priestess also has shadow sides, and the don'ts this month are don't disconnect, don't be overly critical, and don't get stuck in fantasy. So, what happens a lot is that when we are so clearly enriching our lives with intuition and enriching our lives with um, connecting, we forget to connect in our social lives, we forget to connect with others. So, it's very important that you don't disconnect from life and feel like you're all busy with higher power and forget that, yes, we still need to do the dishes and we still need to do other things in our lives that are important. It's also very easy when we're on this spiritual path, when we are having these spiritual highs and spiritual wins, to start being very critical of others and of ourselves. This is not the path. If you notice that you get cranky because other people are not listening, or you feel like you're further ahead in your path, take a big step back and realize that we are all walking in our own time, in our own space, and allow yourself to make mistakes, allow other people to make mistakes, give each other grace and love and forgiveness. That is also what the High Priestess is all about. And last but not least, it's very easy when you spend so much time visualizing things or manifestation work to get stuck into this kind of fantasy life where it is much easier and much nicer than reality where there are some issues that you also need to give the time and attention to. So I highly recommend to make sure that while you're busy with your spiritual work, you do not neglect what's really going on. It's wonderful to take an hour to meditate, but it isn't if there's actually something urgently needing your attention. So be really mindful that your spiritual work supports your life and your life supports your spiritual work. I wish you a wonderful July.